really fun video. You know Mariah really well. She's been in a bunch of my videos. So she has been blonde for years and years and years. In my last video with her, we actually took her bright red, which was super fun. But she's ready for more of a natural look. She missed her extension, so we are going to be doing, what are we doing? Blonde to start the blonde? We're doing like a habit-inspired hair, so it's going to be super fun. So it's going to be like a darker base with some like balayage highlights throughout, and then we're going to throw her extensions in. So I am going to run through what I do with her hair, how I mix it up, how I apply it, and then we're also going to tone her extensions. So if you are interested in this, stay tuned. Alright you guys, I'm really excited about this. I'm trying a bunch of new things today. So the first up is going to be Joico Color Intensity Eraser. So technically this is only supposed to erase intense colors like fashion colors, teals, reds, pinks, purples. But I've heard from a few other hairdressers that it can remove, you know, brighter colors like red, even if they're permanent. So since she still has a little bit of red in her hair, we are going to be trying this to see if we can pull it out. A little bit of history on Mariah. Last time you guys saw my video, I did bright red on her, and she loved it, but then about 4 weeks later, we decided to do a little more of a natural color. So we actually based her with like a 4N and then balayaged around. And some of her ends got pretty light, but some of them are still holding onto that pinky red tone, so that's where I'm going to use this. So this is going to be my first process. This is going to be like a double to triple process today, so it's going to be super exciting. Okay, so now I'm going to mix up the Joico Color Intensity Eraser, and the ratio is 1 to 2. So I am going to empty this packet into my bowl, making sure I measure. That brought us to 30 grams, and it's with 20 volume. And I'm going to take that up to 90 grams since it's 2 to 1. Alright, so step 1 is mixed up. Let's get this in the other room, put it on her, and see what it does.
Alright, so I'm just going through and working this Joico Color Eraser throughout her ends wherever I see the red or the pigment that I'm trying to remove. I'm kind of just working it through like it's a balayage. I don't want it to be a harsh line. I think I'm just kind of trained to do that at this point. So I am just using my mesh foams and going up step by step. And as you can see at this section right here, there's blonde in the middle, so I'm going to be avoiding that section and just doing it where I have like the dark brown or the red pigment, because that's already blonde enough for me, so I don't need to erase anything. Okay, so after this eraser sat for 25 minutes at room temperature, I took her to the bowl and we did a quick bleach wash on her ends, and this is the result. It's a little bit red, a little bit peachy. So now we are going to go through and just do an all over bleach application, and I'm just taking very fine sections, as you can see, working my way up the head, and the goal here is to just kick out any of that red pigment, that peachy pigment. We want to get to a better all over color before we can do the rest. Alright, cute Mariah is all wrapped up in her cap, and we're going to let her sit under the dryer for about 5 to 10 minutes. This is at the very end. It's already been sitting for about 25. Alright, this is her hair after the bleach. It's a little bit red in the root and gold on the ends.
2 hours later, we have had so many crazy things happen. So we did the Joico Color Intensity Eraser. It lifted it out pretty good, but there were some spots that were still pretty vibrant red. So then we did a bleach wash in the bowl. That worked a little more, and then we just did an all-over bleach on top of that. And I'll insert a picture. Now she's kind of like orange and red. So I don't want to bleach it anymore straight on the scalp. So we're going to mix up 3 different formulations, and now I'm going to go in and balayage. And I'm hoping to cut some of the red tones by using a darker color and then lift out the remaining. So let's go over what I'm going to mix for this. This is a color correction. This is crazy. This, you know, you never know with color correction. It could take hours. It could happen overnight. You just don't know with color. So I apologize in advance. This is probably going to be a long video, but if you are interested in this, then keep watching.
Okay, for this part of the process, I'm going to be mixing up 3 different things. So right now, I am using Goldwell Colorants 4N with the processing lotion, and this is 2 to 1 ratio, and I am using this on the very top of her hair. This is going to be my base color. And then after that, I'm going to be mixing up 6A Goldwell Colorants as well, and Goldwell Colorants is a demi-permanent line. And then I'm mixing up my lightener, which is Redken Flash Lift, whoa, can't talk, with 20 volume and Olaplex, of course. And I just did 1/8 ounce of Olaplex.
Okay, so what I'm doing now, as you can see, she has her natural regrowth, some banding from where we lifted, the bright red, and then the kind of blonde orange tone. So since we're working with all three, we're gonna put that 4N right on her natural regrowth. And do you know what's funny, you guys, is as we got this dried and she kind of is looking a little more blonde, where there is blonde, she was like, I kind of prefer the dark on me, like the blonde washes me out. So she's gotten used to that dark tone, so we're excited that we get to go put dark back over it. Seriously. Okay, and then here I have the red tone. I'm putting that 6A right over it to help counteract that red. And I'm just kind of smushing those together with my color brush. And then I'm going to work that together with my hands. And then I'm going to take my lightener and just balayage around that to pop a little bit of that brass out. And like I said, we're only using 20 volume because we don't want any more damage to her hair. And there's of course Olaplex in this mix. When you are doing a color correction like this, it's super important that you don't just go and throw one solid color over it or just one, bleach wash or something. You can do a bleach wash to get to this point, but you don't want to just like highlight it or just do one solid color, because since there are 3 different tones in that hair, you have to treat each tone differently.
Okay, so this is what we ended up with after we did that last process, and now we are doing the for sure final color. So now that we're a little more evened out, I'm going to do baby lights around her whole head. So as you can see, I'm just doing really fine baby lights, little to no subsections. We're just leaving as little hair out as possible because we want to get her, pretty lifted out so that I can tone to the correct tone we're going for. Okay, and now I am using that 6A Goldwell Colorants and putting it in between her foils. And this is just to give her a little more of a base and also to counteract any red that was left behind. So I am just putting that in between every single foil, dragging it down about 2 to 3 inches. Alright, now for the dropouts. So as you can see, I'm taking every little hair that was left out of the foil and I'm coloring it. So on this first one, I am meeting that 6A in the root with a 7G for the ends. And the reason I'm using a G is because her hair is a little more blonde right now, and I didn't want it to go green, so I put the G to keep a little bit of warmth and dimension in the hair. On the remaining dropouts, I'm feathering in my lightener, and this is just to kick out the remaining brass and red and get it to a nice pretty blonde.
Okay, you guys, so we just finished foiling her entire head. I did a full head of baby lights, and then I did a root color in between each of the foils, and then I teased out her ends alternating lightener and the 7G that I was using. Now she's going to process for about 35 minutes, and then we're going to tone her at the bowl. We're hoping that all of the red comes out, so we'll keep you updated.
Alright, I'm going to be using a 4N Goldwell Colorants on her base in the bowl, and I am going to be just rooting her with this. And the reason I choose a demi color to do this is because it tends to fade out a little more naturally, and that way my client can change her hair more easily if she decides to in the future, which she clearly does. And to tone her ends, I am using these 4 shades, and I really love Shades EQ, as you know, so I am mixing these up, and I'm doing about ½ an ounce of each color, so I will have 2 ounces of toner and 2 ounces of processing solution, equaling 4 ounces of toner total. Here I'm just taking her base color, that 4N, and I'm dragging it down about 3 to 4 inches, and I am just going around the entire head. I divided it into 5 quadrants, 2 in the back, 2 on the sides, and a rectangular piece in her bang, which I do very last. And I just wanted to put a disclaimer out there, you guys. This was a color correction. We bleached her hair like 6 times within 7 hours. I would not recommend that unless you are a licensed professional and you feel comfortable with this type of process. I know my client's hair very well. I've been doing it for about 1.5 years. Her hair is very strong, and I would not have done it if I didn't feel her hair could handle it. and I only ever use 20 volume and lower. So just to let you guys know, I was very safe about it. And here I'm just mixing the toner in with her root color, and I left this on for about 10 minutes.
Oh my freaking hell.
It's like 1.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning and it's snowing. It's snowing. You guys are so excited. First snowfall of the season happened right outside our window. And if you're a fan of Gilmore Girls, which you should be, you will understand our excitement. So we smell snow.
You can smell it.
I can smell it. Okay, we finally finished. And what time is it?
It's 12:50.
12:50 a.m. We started at 6.
Yeah.
So it has been 6 hours, if not more. We went through 6 different colors, 6 different processes, but we finally got this and we're super excited with it. We decided not to do her extensions tonight just because it's so late. So I will do a video when we put her extensions in. But we're super happy with this. We got most of the red out. There's like just a teeny bit of red throughout some of the pieces, but as she washes her hair, that'll come out and we can always tone her to touch that up. But for the most part, we did it. We're so excited. So if you watched this whole video, you get a thumbs up, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, tips and tricks you might have, constructive criticism, any of that is, you know, always welcome. So thank you guys for watching, and like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Good night.
Good night. Okay, guys, so it's actually the next day, and we are back again. We are now putting in her hair extensions, so we have her tape-ins. They are toned to match her hair, hopefully. So we are gonna have, she's like, what? So we are gonna add those in, and I'm gonna do an in-depth tutorial on how to add those in, and how I place my tape-ins. And as you guys saw last night, it started to snow. And now we have actual snow in our windows, because it's Christmas. We're so excited. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to go through and show you the placement of the first 3 tape-ins. So at the very bottom of her hair towards the nape, I did 1 right in the middle. And then I did 2 on the angle as I work my way up the head. And then I'm just going to continue to brick glaze. So I'll probably do 1 right here, a few more right here, and then I'll just continue working in my angles around the corners. Okay, so what I like to do when I'm doing extensions is I take her natural hair and I'll take my thinning shears and just kind of notch into her hair. That way, since she has more of a blunt cut, it's going to blend really well with the tape-ins. And sometimes I'll even work my way down like that, just a teeny bit to add texture. Sorry, Sarah.
I'm really upset that they're all out of this.
And then that just softens the line a little bit, as you can see.
So as you can see, I did a brick lay pattern, so I have 3 extensions right here, and then below it, in between the gaps, I have 2 others, and I just use a brick lay pattern up the head.
But this is obsession. Like I could cry right
Hopefully
now.
Mariah likes it as much as
Like
you do.
I'm gonna bawl because I love it so much. I don't know if I like.
I'm going to include this in the video. Sarah, how much do you love this color?
I'm gonna cry.
She actually really will cry.
I love it. So I'm like,
Oh my gosh, she is seriously crying. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Sarah. She's just emotional.
yeah.
And as I continue around to the side of the head, I brick lay as well, and I just try to fill in the gaps. And as you can as you place your tape-ins, you'll start to see where there are gaps and it'll be easier to fill it in. And I apologize, this video isn't very good only because the lighting at my salon is so terrible at night. So everything looks really gold and dark. So I promise her hair wasn't that gold, it's just the lighting, it was super deceiving, but it made it hard to film. So I will do a more in-depth tutorial if you guys want it. I tried to do it, but it just wasn't working. And then I also like to angle the tape-ins when they're around the face. I don't think this one was an angle, but I do like to place that on an angle so that when it falls forward, it falls really naturally and they're still able to pull their hair back as well. I do love it, Mariah.
I love it.